Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live composing show. This is Stephen Melin. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic today. Yes, it is a Tuesday, and yes, it is a random time of 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we got a stream in this week. That's a big deal. If you know anything about my life right now, it's just kind of in shambles. But it's all good. It's all good. We had, over the last couple of weeks, we had a very sad... we had a death in the family, so the last couple weeks just been super sad and kind of picking up the pieces and grieving and those types of things, which is never fun, but it's part of life. And with a large family such as mine, there's a lot of moving pieces and people visiting and family coming out of town and all that kind of stuff. So if you haven't seen me in the last couple of weeks, that's why. Just kind of taking care of family in the home front and doing the best we can. But I'm really excited that as of yesterday, I won't use the word normal, but back to kind of a more normal rhythm and schedule. So I was able to write some music yesterday, and I'm excited to write some music today, which is going to be wonderful. And there's nothing more wonderful than Zelda. Come on, that's one of my favorite things ever. So I'm very excited that next week on the Switch, Nintendo is releasing the Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. And as I put in the description to this video, my very first memory of video games, I believe I must have been around age 5 or 6. So this was back in like mid-90s. My very first video game was The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. And Tetris, because, that came with it. But even before my memories of all my favorite Super Nintendo games, and of course, N64 and all the later consoles that came, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening had such a profound impact on me because it just resonated. I loved everything about it. And it was my foray into Zelda games. And that really quickly became one of my favorite genres. And to this day, the action-adventure genre is so special to me, and I love working on games that are in that genre. And specific to today, as you may know, the Link's Awakening was a Game Boy original, but then, what was it, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even 6 or 7 years ago, Switch has been around for so long now, but they did a remake of Link's Awakening, and it was a full, 2.5D HD remake on the Switch, super colorful. And it sold super well. And the music, if you recognize, obviously in the original on the Game Boy, everything was in that 8-bit style with the 4 channels. But now the remake on Switch, it used modern sample libraries and a mixture of that and live woodwind ensemble. And I think it's a woodwind quintet or woodwind quartet, I'm not quite sure. But it definitely used flute, oboe, bassoon, and clarinet. And they rearranged all of those original tunes. And it just is so cute and so fun and whimsical and adventurous. And I absolutely love that sound. So as soon as I heard that Zelda Echoes of Wisdom was in production, that definitely just made me so happy. And I'm really excited to play this game soon. Again, it releases next week. And my goal for today with the live composing show is I want to write an overworld track. There's been a ton of footage already out there. I don't want to spoil too much of this game because I just think it's going to be phenomenal. And no one needs to convince me to play the next Zelda game. I'm such a Zelda nut. And I put a lot of hours into Tears of the Kingdom. Day one. I've never been a day one purchaser. Actually, pre-ordered that sucker. I was so excited about it, and I played the junk out of that one. But what I think is so unique about this game is it's almost like the perfect blend of Tears of the Kingdom, which is, the crafting and the kind of using the elements of the world and your powers, whatever, to build and kind of solve puzzles in your own unique way. It's that mixed with the classic top-down 2D Zelda formula. And I'm really excited about this because just when I thought Zelda games couldn't be solved, couldn't be saved, because the Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild style, that open world style, is such a departure from the classic formula of Zelda games. I was so excited to see this because it's kind of pandering to both camps. The newbies who are brand new to Zelda games and like they really like the open world feel, but now this is catering to the kind of the original crowd, the Zelda fans of long of the last several decades, because Zelda's been around since the 80s. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I just think it perfectly blends these two things together, and musically, I think it's going to be way closer to the Link's Awakening soundtrack with kind of the cutesy woodwinds. And so I definitely want to lean in that direction. And so to prepare for today, what I did is I pulled open my Kontakt database. I talk about this thing a lot because it's my treasure trove of instruments that I've collected. And I'll show you how easy this was. I'll just do it again just so you guys can see it. I literally open up a Kontakt instrument, call it whatever. And because I already have everything preloaded in my quick load, I literally have a folder here called VGM Samples Retro. I go to the console generation that I want because I have everything sorted by game and by instruments. So I go to the 8th gen, which was Nintendo Switch. And then I actually have all of the samples used, like the original samples from The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening Switch remake. Boom. Take all of those instruments and just grab them and throw them up there, and there it is. And that's how I got this little patch. Haven't played anything yet, but that's all I'm doing here. So yeah, we're going to be using authentic Zelda samples to write Zelda music, and I think I've been around Zelda games long enough to have a pretty strong understanding of kind of the style that works. It's going to be something a little bit cutesy, but also adventurous and interesting, very melodic. It's going to be a lot of fun. So this is definitely going to be therapeutic for me today, just to write some music and to kind of escape a little bit, which I don't know about you, but music is a huge escape for me in a very positive way, just like video games are. So this is going to be a lot of fun just to hang out with you guys today. And hello, we got lots of friends jumping in here. We got Kestrel, Sarah, Chu, a bunch of others who need to say hey. So say hey and let me know what your favorite Zelda game is. If I had to pick, it is such a tough question, but I don't know if it is. Hey, what's up, Jordan? For me, it's always been Majora's Mask. Zelda Majora's Mask on the N64. That game, of all the Zelda games, I've replayed that one the most, so I would guess that's what makes it my favorite. I basically have that game memorized, and I try to play it every few years because it's so important to me. In the same way that I'll go back and play Final Fantasy games and Mario games, and just there's something about replaying my favorite games that just reminds me of how much games matter to me and the impact that they've made. Hey, howdy. We got Gold Music, we got Matt, we got George. George says, I'm neck deep in Wise right now, but looking forward to watching this one later. Well, hey, maybe you can just listen to some music in the background and enjoy. True, yes, Link to the Past. Gosh, this is so crazy. I tried to replay A Link to the Past. Nintendo Switch Online. You get access to hundreds of games. I tried to replay that on my Switch, and it didn't feel right. I just couldn't get into it. It's so weird, because I've played A Link to the Past so many times. And I don't know. It's like this is the first time that I felt like the game was dated, because that game has always felt ahead of its time. I think it's from 1993. It's always felt ahead of its time, but now trying to play it in 2024, it just felt old and janky. And it is, I guess. I don't know what it's going to take for me to go back to play that game again, but I also played that game to death many times as a kid, so whatever. Ooh, hot take. George says his favorite is Phantom Hourglass. Ugh, that's my least favorite. That's the black sheep. I think that's one of the worst Zelda games ever. Oh my gosh. Ocarina of Time, I mean, come on, classic. The thing about Ocarina of Time is it's like, my kids are playing that now. And my kids, they range from 17 all the way down to newborn, but we have kids in between as well. It's just so funny watching my kids in 2024 play Ocarina of Time as one of their very first video games, period. it's like dad mode, 2 thumbs up. Like I'm doing something right. And they find it so hard because, they're like playing their tablets and they're playing all of these mobile games and things they're just made to be easy. They're made to have, the dopamine hits and everything. They're made to be instant wins, and like there's no skill involved in all these games that they play, these little kid games. And then they go and they play Zelda and they're like, this is so hard. Where do I go? And like they've been wandering around for like an hour, not knowing where to go. And it's just so funny to me. The difficulty curve in games has gone way down, which I don't like. So yay. I hold on to the classics because you gotta pass it down, right? Because if I don't do it, then who will, right? Anyway, oh gosh, I could just chat with you guys the whole time. Twilight Princess is really good. I've only played it 1.5 times on the GameCube, and I haven't played it since, and it's been 10 years, 15 years. I mean, when did that game come out? That was on GameCube, right? So that was like 2004, 2005. Oh my gosh, that was 20 years ago. I've lost all track of time. I need to play that one again. But they've yet to put it on Switch, right? They put it on Wii U. And I said, that's stupid. I'm not rebuying this game. But I would play that on Switch if they... But that's the joke, right? After 7 years, they still haven't re-released it. Man, Nintendo's weird. They've always been so weird. They're completely unpredictable in every way. None of their decisions make any sense, and yet they're still on top of the world. So, hey, they're doing something right. Okay, anyway. Oh yeah, and it was on the Wii. Fun story real quick. I actually, because I'm such a diehard Zelda fan, I care so deeply about these things. That's why I like the discourse around it. I played Breath of the Wild for the first time on Wii, right? Wait, it came out on Wii U and Switch. That's what it was. I played it on Wii U because I didn't have a Switch yet, way back when. 2017. I played this sucker on the tablet. The Wii U was basically a prototype for the Switch. And but you had to be like within 10 feet of the console. It was like portable, but not really. And the gyro controls on the gamepad of the Wii U were terrible. And I just remember being so frustrated trying to get through some of the shrines because you had to, like the puzzle ones where you have to like move the gyro pad. Yeah, absolutely miserable. And I ended up despising that game, like with a hatred. And every time people talked about it being this 10 out of 10 masterpiece, I was like, what are you talking about? Are we playing the same game here? Remember, Die Hard, like Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, not Phantom Hourglass, yeah, right. Wind Waker, I love it so much. And then this game was just such a departure from that. But I will say, there was a redemption factor here that years later, when I finally got a Switch, I think I played Breath of the Wild again, 2020, 2021, one of those, a few years back. And then playing it on Switch, portable mode, on like a Switch Lite, I loved it. And it was everything I wanted it to be. So weird how the same game, playing it 2 different times, just because of which console I played on, wildly different. I feel like Breath of the Wild is an amazing portable game. And then I felt the same way about Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know. I've become a portable game player. I don't play consoles anymore. It's so weird. I like to sit, at nighttime and just, play my little game in my face. It's just different. Anyway, okay. I'll stop. Let's write some music. Now, granted, these samples are intentionally, I won't say bad, but they're distinctively Zelda. So they're not going to be crisp and clear and beautiful and realistic. They're just not, but they're going to sound like Zelda. So let's just kind of audition some of these sounds and take a look at some of the footage as well. You can kind of see some of it scrubbed through there. It's basically Zelda walking around in her little hood, and she's using her wand to summon these different... I haven't watched a lot of these, but basically you collect like monsters. I forgot what they're called, but you're basically like recreating that list right there. Your inventory is essentially the items that you've collected and the like a rock and a little slime and a little trampoline and sign and whatever, and you can recall them and use them out in the battle. That's actually how you fight. That's how you traverse the overworld and all of that. And yes, Samuel writes, it is why I love the Steam Deck. Yeah, I'm totally getting a Steam Deck soon. I've been thinking about it way too long. I've been thinking about it for years, but now I'm going to finally pull the trigger soon. Because I've loved playing Switch so much, but I have this backlog of PC games and PlayStation games that are now on Steam. I love Steam, but I never play it on my computer because this is my workplace. And I don't like to play games where I work. It needs to be separate. And just in my lifestyle, it makes sense to do that separately. And pardon me while I cover my coffee. I don't know about you guys, at least over here in Georgia, it's starting to get cold outside, but the flies are out of control. Inside, outside, everywhere. Oh my gosh. So we're in that season of cover everything at all times, or else the flies will get in all of your food. Anyway, yay, hot places. Anyway, Sarah says, the game that I'm the composer for is hugely inspired, both artistically and musically, by Zelda. Woohoo! I'm hoping to work on a game soon. Actually, just did a pitch yesterday with a game that is a blend of Animal Crossing and top-down 2D Zelda. Chef's kiss. Come on, let's go. I really hope I get to work on this. Yeah, I just love it. I love Zelda so much. Glad you guys are here. Yay, let's have some fun. Let's audition some of these sounds. Remember, these are all the original samples, like the synthesizers and sample libraries used. These are not ROM hacks. There's nothing illegal here. I just tracked down all the original sound sources. But this is from Switch. Hey, Raphael. Hey, you can finally watch a stream after 2 years. My gosh. Remind me what country you're in, Raphael. That would make sense. I know that the audience here is global. There is no good time to do a stream because half of you can't make it. I do like to occasionally change up the stream times when I can. Anyway, I like this sound a lot. It's called a tremolo piano. This is such a Zelda sound. What is it? It's in A. What key is that in? G. Oh, I love it so much. And of course, sword. I love it because there's like the sound that I'm going for here is going to be a blend of kind of the Japanese jazz harmonies, which is basically major 7 chords that are planar, which just means that they move sideways like this. Right, that's a very Zelda type of cadence. It's very dreamy and mystical and fantasy, right? You can do it in minor or major mode. Right, let me take Zelda's Lullaby. We also have a lot of mode usage. A lot of 5/7 chords to get us back. So this is just C, D over C, C, G over B, B flat diminished, then resolve to the F7. Or not F7, G7. So there's a lot of patterns, there's a lot of... I've done videos about this on YouTube. I have an old video called The Zelda Chord, which is just some of these common tropes that are typically used in Zelda tracks. So we're going to use some of them. Here's another instrument called the boomerang toy piano. That's nice. I know that patch. That's from Omnisphere. I can see that. This is probably in the Dream Shrine or one of the dungeons. Still not appropriate for like overworld music, but I do like that. So let's do this. Let's grab the sounds that I think are going to work really well for today. So this is harp. And all I have to do is duplicate, because these are so tiny. These are like, what, 5 megabytes? Not even. Okay, 9 megabytes each, because, you know, they're all about the same. Between 5 and 9, but I'm soloing it, so whatever. It's not going to take up much space. Let's go to the next one. Harpasynth. I like that a lot. Cool. Oh, that's right, Raphael, you're in Brazil. Cool. All right, this is harpasynth. Harp-si. Let's have a harpsichord, harpsynth. Cool. What else we got? I like that sound a lot. That'll be fun if we do something a little quicker with it. Let's pop this open. I'm trying to really stick to the Zelda sounds today, and I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't. Ooh, that's nice. That's really nice. It's called In Memoriam. That's the patch name. And if any of you want to know where any of these are from, just ask and I'll do my Windows search. We can figure it out together. I surprised Matt with this stream, so he may not make it. I didn't know I was streaming until about 20 minutes ago. Like the minute before. So thank you for those of you who have showed up. Ooh, that's cool. Liquid Onklungs. Liquid. So Onklungs are used in a lot of Zelda music. It's an African like log drum, but this is like a synthy version. Cool. Let's keep going. We have marimba. Oh my gosh, this is the Zelda marimba. This is used in every Zelda game ever. I don't remember where it's from, but every Zelda game uses this as far as since samples were ever used. So probably as early as Wind Waker, it's in every Zelda game. And that's what's so cool about the lineage of Zelda games is even though the composers have changed over time, they continue to use the same samples where they can. I think that's so cool. I love this sound because it has the 8-bit feel, like a Moog, but it's still modern. I bet they used this for the... Doesn't that sound exactly like it? I like that. Oh, we'll just call that Moog. Love it. Moogity Moog. Optagon marimba. Cool. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Let's try bells. I like that sound, but I don't know. I don't think I would use it in an overworld. It's more like a village kind of sound. But this one's cool. It has that dreamlike quality because it has those. Cool. Pensive compass, whatever. Pensive. What is it called? Pensive compass. That's a reference to a cloud, right? Nimbus, I don't know. Flying Nimbus. Oh, but wait, we're not done. Sorry, there's like 3 levels of these. Let's keep going. You can definitely hear the Zelda sound in these. That's a cool sound too. It's called plucked and shift. Plucked and shift. Let's keep rolling. By the way, the Plucky Squire, if you've been following that game for a while, that actually releases today, so you can go look at it. Clearly has some Zelda top-down influences, but it's more of like a storybook, almost like a visual novel. Oh, that's fun. Hello. I love the plucky stuff. Yeah. Ooh, I like this one. This one kind of has a sense of danger to it. I'll keep it. Rhodesy Guitarette. I like that name. Rhodesy Guitarette. It's kind of like a Rhodes, kind of like a guitar. And then we have the typical suspects. But first, let's do the Wishing Well. I thought this was a cool sound too. Wishing Well sounds like this. Has a ton of reverb on it. This might be good for like single notes. And then the woodwind instruments, which are going to be important to this too. So let's go and grab those. Thanks for allowing me to just kind of do this. I could have done this before, but there's some value, I hope, in just kind of seeing what I'm doing. Solo oboe. Let's grab the clarinet, which is down here. this. These are the solo woodwinds from East West. So most people already have these in case you're looking for them. And then let's go in order. So we have bassoon. Telling you the East West library stuff was used by Nintendo. It still is used by Nintendo. That's what's so crazy. It's so old. But because it's been such a consistent sound in their games, they don't want to lose it. Is my assumption anyway. This is bass clarinet. And then the last one is going to be, actually we have two more. We have contrabassoon. So they have the whole woodwind range here in this universe, which is right here, contrabassoon. And then the last one, there's also a piccolo in here. So over here, let's find the piccolo. I'm trying to get them in kind of score order. Okay, now I think we have more than enough tools to get the job done now and to actually make a dent. Thanks for kind of bearing with me as I was just exploring sounds, but now we get to have some fun. So if you stuck with me this long, you know that I typically take forever to set up. As you see on screen, that's the footage we're working with here today. Zelda's walking around and doing her thing, fighting the baddies, exploring, which is what you typically do in Zelda games, which I'm very excited about playing, of course. I want to get a feel for pulse. So this is why I like to watch gameplay footage or ask game developers to play the demos, whatever, the builds. Because what I'm looking for is a pulse. Look at the water. Look at anything that's moving. We need to try to find a tempo that matches the movement on screen. So even just look at the footsteps of Zelda. So it's like, it's pretty quick. Like she's running, she's fighting. There's a lot to consider here. Musically, we want to make sure that we're not getting in the way of the sound effects either. Sound effects are going to be right there in the mid-range. So we want to really focus more on rhythm and percussion and any kind of driving pulse that's going to help keep momentum, even while we're standing still, right? So let's start with that. Let's find a pulse. It's about where we're headed, which is a little bit faster than a heartbeat, which is 120. So we want it to probably be like 140. Nope. Maybe 122. That's what I had. Dang, that's like dead on. That's 118. Those are slightly too fast. 2, 3, 4. This is 116. This is slower than the overworld of main Zelda, but basically we need to be able to put a beat, put some kind of rhythm here. You know what's curious is in this whole list there are no strings. That's crazy to me, but that's also what made that soundtrack so interesting, is it didn't use the orchestra. It had solo woodwinds. So we're gonna have to use these. These are basically synth versions of guitars and orchestral percussion. So we're gonna try to use those to try to get the pulse and the rhythm. So we have the rhythm of 118. So rhythmically, dun da 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 da, ticka 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 da 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 da. So a typical Zelda thing is it's to do this suspended thing, which is where we start on a 1 chord and go to the suspended 4. Either that one or. But we've never left the home. Yeah, Ralph. We have... Sorry, I'm playing a very different key than the original. Anyway, yeah, we have a Discord. It's called Video Game Music Alliance. I'll pop it in the chat since Matt's not hanging out with us at the moment. Yeah, come hang out. They're all video game composers inside. And we have a pro membership for anyone who cares to like do this as a career. If you want to, if it's not, basically, if you want to take this beyond a hobby, we have pro coaching and courses and things to like actually earn some money doing this and working with Kontakt and all the business side and all like the high level production side to get your stuff sounding really, really solid. But if it's just a hobby, hey, just come hang out. It's free. So yeah, I feel like we need to use all of these synths and perk to get the rhythm. So simple, but that's a very common Zelda-ism. Let's go between the 1 and the 7, 1 and the 7, 1 and the 7, which is called Mixolydian mode, if you care. Let's get that in, just to have a starting point. This is too slow. Let's go back to 122. Nope, too slow. Dun, da, 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 bum, bum, dun, dun, dun. I gotta find that sweet spot. Dun, 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 da, 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 bum, bum, bum. All right. Still feels slow. Weird. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. 138. That's going to be it. Cool. Notice all the prep I'm doing so that when I start writing, it can be quick and efficient. I did all the groundwork at the start. That way, I now can fly, right? Take note of that. That's a pro habit. Do the hard work first, and then you can have the fun. Cool. And then that's going to be a B section. I already have markers set up so that this can be A, this can be B. Let me make a new marker channel up top, and this is going to be sections. Actually, let's go ahead and call this sections, and this will be chords. That way, it's all labeled well. So this chords, we're going to color code it to be orange. Oopsies. Make sure that's not selected. I have two lanes happening right now that are frozen. So like I have the panes up top. They're separated. See like this? They're separated from this scroll. I love doing that. And by the way, I'm using New Window. That's the name of it. It's the pro version of Cubase. Pro meaning like it's actually made. New Window is made for game audio, by the way, if you are not aware of that. Most sound designers use New Window. So by extension, I like to use it because it has the game composer at the forefront of its mind. The only feature it's missing, which bums me out, I just learned about this yesterday. Logic has this, but Cubase does not yet. It doesn't have a second cycle loop export, but I do it manually anyway. Not a big deal, but meaning in Logic, you can actually make the software output seamless loops. You can actually force the reverb tail onto the beginning of the track automatically, which is so cool. Anyway, man, I love Samuel. I love Cubase new window. I think it's spectacular. It's not perfect software. Nothing is. But for what I do, specifically for game audio, to me, it checks every box. For ease of use, efficiency, working quickly. All right, so here's what just happened. My quantize got off. Oops. Let me keep all that. There we go. My quantize got off because my there's always going to be latency between playing live and what is actually recorded. So you'll notice right here, without quantizing, it is just the tiniest bit off, right? So the fastest way is just to drag it until it's dead on and then quantize. And then you'll get way more accuracy. See, now everything's dead on. Oh, wrong note. I wasn't even planning to use harp, but I really like it now. It's so calming. All right, and here I'm gonna start putting some chords in. So in Cubase, you can do a little checkbox beside which marker channel you want to automatically input. So here I'm gonna make chords. So this is E flat, major 7. And back here, this was, everything's G. Every single one of these is a G chord. And then, where was it? D minor. There, so D minor 7. And then back to G. Yeah, my metronome is in my ears, not in your ears. I don't know why, but the plugin that I use to route audio, you'll see it right here in my stereo outs. It's called Vox and Go Recorder. It's an ancient plugin from the 32-bit days, like Windows 7 days or Windows 98 days, whatever. It doesn't, for whatever reason, it routes all of my audio that you hear, which is my stereo output. I think what it is because the metronome is not routed in my DAW to go through the stereo out, which is good because you wouldn't want your metronome to leak into your export. That's why. I'm sure that there's a way to do that, but I just don't care. Most of the time, if I have click running, I don't want you to hear it anyway. So for anyone who thinks, oh my gosh, he plays so in time, how does he do it? It's just a facade. But also realize that I was a piano performance major and I practiced with a metronome 6 hours a day, every day for years upon years upon years upon years. So yeah, I have a pretty good sense of rhythm. I should. Sometimes I don't even put the click on, I just play because I visually can see, you guys maybe can't, but right down here, see this right here? This is my click. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I just watch that while I play. And, you know, it's like watching a conductor. I played in orchestras my whole life. I've watched conductors. They don't have a metronome. They just wave their hands, right? And so I've also played to clicks and streamers. The ancient days of film scoring, where you watch a picture and there's actually the slider and then the flash. I'm not sure if any of you know what I'm talking about, but that's how film scoring used to be. Um, I'm a human metronome. I mean, isn't that what a drummer is? There are human metronomes. I've played with so many drummers over the years. Like, they have the greatest rhythm of all time. Anyway. I've also done a lot of percussion in my life, so. Anyway, wow, I'm just getting so sidetracks. But there you go. As you can see, there's, let me take these tracks and squish them. I also like how Cubase functions a lot like Excel, like Microsoft Excel. I know that's a weird comparison, but I'm a spreadsheet nut. I love that kind of stuff, business budgeting and whatever. I do love that stuff. And making pretty charts and stuff. So like this is the closest thing I can think of in music software that functions almost identically to what I would expect to do in Word or Excel. You have like your ribbon up here. You have all your tools. You have, a freeze pane, that kind of stuff. It works like a cell in that regard, like a grid. Anywho, my gosh, I'm getting so long-winded. This is what happens if I don't have a live stream for a couple weeks. You guys make me talk. Ugh. Anyway, this is my favorite sound. Love that. Yeah, I love it so much. It's like Celeste. Cool. That's a fun combo. Let's get that quantized. I feel like this just needs to be an intro. So this will be the A section right here. And then this will be intro. That way the harp just kind of has its own thing. It's also a good loop point. And by that, see, I'm so used. I recently made a change in my template. You can see it right here. Watch. This is such a weird thing, but in composing culture, I was always taught, because of, the ancient days of MIDI 1.0, I was always taught to leave one bar free to put all of your MIDI data. Your automations, your CCs, your key switching. And so for the longest time, like for, the last 10 years, I have started my sessions on bar 2 as my starting point. And look what I just did naturally. I started on bar 2, not even thinking about it. But I recently made a change to my template. I didn't even know this, but in Cubase, you can actually force... I'll show you for anybody, for like the 3 people who care. Over here in my project settings, project setup right here, there's this little toggle box, display bar offset. And you can put the number 1 instead of 0, and it actually shifts the entire session over to the right by 1. And you can do it as much as you want and create negative bar numbers, which is super cool. But what I did is I created, hey, what's up, Matt? Glad you make it. Thanks for dealing with my flexibility. I didn't know I was streaming this morning till, I hit go. My family said, bye. And I said, okay, cool. I'm streaming. So anyway, my template now has a bar 0, which is really nice because now I can set my looper bar to be there. And then I actually start writing at bar 1, which is going to help with all of my live scores moving forward, because for the longest time, because of that whole bar 1, bar 2 thing, I've been getting very confused, because in Pro Tools, where I record live orchestras, the bar number would always start at 1, and then they would start playing on bar 2. And then I would import it back into Cubase or Nuendo, the original session, and everything was off by a bar. And then I'd import, a soloist's audio, like a solo violin or hurdy-gurdy, whatever, and then their, whole thing was off by 1 bar, and it just, creating sheet music like this with like awkward bar numbers, just crazy. So this little thing just saved me a lot of headache. And since I just went through a whole mix process with Dark Dice music, that's why this is very fresh in my mind, where nothing was lining up because some things were recorded at bar 1, some things were bar 2, some things were like bar 0. So now it's going to be uniform moving forward. But look at me being silly. I already screwed it up. So the secret to this is if you go up to your quantize bar, you can actually, I have a shortcut on my computer keyboard that I can move everything that's selected by whatever the quantize is, because it says use quantize right there, use quantize, and there is my quantize. 1 out of 1 means 1 bar. All I have to do is hit 1 button, and then everything shifts to where I want it to go. Pretty cool. So now, if I hit my keystroke, which starts the transport at the looping bar, there's my intro, and then likewise. This is why I can work so fast, because I have in Cubase, check this out, my key commands are crazy. Look at that. And that's just one folder. But you could go to look and go to all. Everything that has some, oh my gosh. Look how many functions Cubase has. That's gotta be like 3,000. It's insane. And then you can make your own macros, which is like multiple commands back to back. And then you can make macros, which are like macros of macros. It's bananas. And then I have this insane stream deck, which is, maybe you can see that. Here. You can kind of see it. Yeah, there you go. Cool. See this thing? All those buttons right there are my macros. I forgot what their actual name. I think that they're called the logical editor, but it just means that they're like, I've macroed my macros so that if I push 1 button, magical things happen because I took the time. It took me about a week to set it up. It's very much like Reaper, by the way. Yeah, Maple. You got it. But that's what I like it. It has all the clean interface, and it's well supported and highly used by most composers these days. But it also has the crazy customability of Reaper. So I'm not saying it can do everything, but it kind of can. It can do whatever you want it to do. You just have to be a mad scientist to put it all together sometimes. Anyway, geez, I better write some music now. Anyway. Hi. Hey, Casey Strange, what's up? I love that Casey says, we've got a similar thing in Logic. Like, your identity is Logic. I get it. Oops. I promise I'm going to start writing music now. I had a lot of words today. Ooh, I played a wrong note, but I liked it better. Dang it, what was my wrong note? I'll do F. Thanks, Sarah. I've missed streaming. There will come a day in the near future. We're actually planning to move somewhere nearby in North Georgia, to be determined where. But with that new house, within the next 6 months or so, the goal is to have a separate studio space again. I've missed that dearly. The ability to record without distraction regularly, like multiple times per week, that's the goal. And I think that that's going to be a game changer for what I do. While still taking care of kids and stuff, of course. But, to have select hours where I can record, that's going to be huge. All right, let me get this. that better. The D7. Let's make it a D7. It just feels so cool in these low register. Because that's a tritone. That's the cool thing about a 7 chord, by the way, is it's actually a tritone. You ever notice that? But because you have the tonic on bottom. And it's low. It doesn't sound as bad. Right? It sounds normal, classical. But it's actually a tritone. So if you separate it, it has the funky quality of being a tritone, but because you have that low bass, it actually works. Ooh, gross. Boom, boom. All right, so now the last thing that I have to do. This was another revelation I've had in the last month or two, just working a lot with MIDI. I've come to the realization that, especially when you make your own samples like this, you gotta be really careful to keep your velocities similar. So I'm gonna make everything identical. That way it doesn't ever feel like it dips in volume. That already feels better. Let's see. Here we go. Yadadum C D C. All right, what are you saying, Raphael? All right, he wants me to try something. He wants me to try C7. That's at the circle of fifths. No thanks. All right. That's not my style. That's not a very Zelda chord progression, but it is cool. It's very Debussy sounding, actually. Debussy. Ooh, I like that a lot. Cool. So it really starts around here. Like the melody should pop in at the A section. So we have this little intro, right? Let's get something in, yeah? Nothing against Debussy. So I already feel a bit of a conflict in the harmony. I'd rather do, let's keep this going. So I feel like this is a pretty strong G chord. G, 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 G over, I mean, really, it's like a G over F. Or is it F over G? F over G, sorry. Because the G stays. This is where it needs to change. Yep, and that's where it needs to go to. That's the Mixolydian part, so B flat. And that's very Zelda to go to the A flat 7. No, major 7. And that's just back to the G. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's what I want. So I'm gonna kill all of this. No, not all that hardware. Ah! Okay. Anyway, don't get too attached. There will be many deletions. So let's clean this up by Harpy Harp. What do we got? So here we just need a blast. I think it's through. Hahaha, that's pretty cool. Think this through. Okay. Definitely go. Keep that same pulse. I'm not happy with it yet. Patience. It needs to go. But I don't want to go that low. Okay. Last try. So the new chords are E flat major 7. I'm just doing it earlier. A flat major 7, and then G sus, sus 4, and then G 7, which is weird because it's like it should lead back to C, and maybe we'll have to change that, but that's just kind of where I'm leaning at the moment. Let's just see if that works. Let's add the bass back in. maybe the rhythm. Okay. Leave it like that. Whew. Okay. We're getting places now. Ready? There it is. The cap strip before I forget it. Cool. I like it. All right, this is pretty interesting. Definitely need to add some other items here, but I think we're definitely off to a good start. Hey, what's up, Micah? think I'm just going to transpose here. Why not? There's no reason not to. So here we're going to C. This is going to be the B section. Just keep going with that style. No, 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 no. All right, the question in the chat is, where did you get all of these things? Right there. There's a free course video right there. It's on Thinkific. That's for Danny, asking about where the heck are those Zelda samples. I walk through the whole thing where you can find all those yourself. Completely free. Go check it out. Because I get that question a lot. I finally just made the resource. That way I could send it to you guys. Hope that's helpful. Add some stair delay to that patch so that we could just get more plucky with it. Let's do eighth note. Alright, anyway, I want this to be in C major now. Something like that. Two DuckTales. Trying to think of a good progression, you know. I actually wrote a song. That's the Boar Night. Which adventures picking the new tales to spin. What is it? Friendship and caring and music and caring and time. Here comes the... Yeah, that's the intro song to the Boar Night. It was originally intended to be an animated series, but then we turned it into a podcast, like a musical. You can look it up on YouTube. It has a whole... I'm going to find it real quick because this is my show. Why not? Here it comes. Just enjoy. This will be our break for the day. Let's do it.
Trotting through the trees, saving lives with great ease. He's the hero we need. Friendship and daring, here comes the Boar Night now. Which adventures beckon, never
There you go. The guitars and the orchestration, that was all done by Mike Petrie. Legendary. He worked on Vampirina, by the way. He's in a lot of Disney stuff. He's a good friend. He helped turn that into that masterpiece. But anyway, isn't that so funny? Just how, like, as composers, songwriters, we have a way of, like, copying ourselves. I got to be careful sometimes because I'm like, yeah, that sounds so good. Already done that. Anyway, where were we? Alright, let's do that for the second section. Trying to move the train along here. Alrighty. That's fun. Let's keep all those exact so that everything fits. It almost has like a vocal quality to it. I like it. So we'll make these. I want them all to be 3 beats. Like that. I can copy that. Paste it over here. Cool. Twilight Princess. Let's go. It's a good one. Let's keep running with that idea. All right. It might be a little bit too happy and cheerful for an overworld, but... I was about to correct that. Yeah, Maple. Fact check that. About not the same people. Celeste and Tunic, very different teams and composers, but both magical. This might be too cliche, but I still like this little tune. I'm still gonna finish it. This is almost like a title screen, or like a loading. Cool. Yeah, okay, there you go, Maple. Cool. Thanks for clarifying. Always want to make sure the right people get credit for things. That's really fun. I like that. Yeah, my timing's way off. Somebody got off. Thanks a bunch, Vince. Cool. All right. Shabam. Just gotta figure out how to get all this together. That'll work. connect those. I like it quite muchly. Boom, boom, boom. That one I definitely need to quantize and get all the thingamajigabobs. Let's get into all 90. Same thing as over here. Let's make sure everything is ready to go. Let's make them all 90. Cool. Now it should all be. It's called a harpsisynth. That's the synth bass. This thing right here from whatever Link's Awakening. I can look it up. Harpsisynth. Let's find it. It's from Omnisphere. There you go. Now you can go find it. It's just type in harpsisynth in Omnisphere, and you'll have it too. That's all it is. This is why I keep records of all the names. Harpsisynth from Omnisphere. Fix some things. What is that? Oh, that's why. Okay. I'm gonna double that line with the real piccolo. Alrighty. The compensation delay down, back by 20. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Raphael. All right. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Refresh the old brain, and we'll come back for some more. See you soon. Alrighty, welcome back to the live co-hosting show where words are hard to say and coffee breaks happen randomly. So, I'm looking for some inspiration. So, I grabbed some Zelda pizzicato strings from none other than Majora's Mask. There we go. Now I'm refreshed. Had to get some Zelda back in the blood. It's so good. There's such a specific sound. I don't know. This needs to be E flat, major 7. D7. It is settled. It already feels better. I don't like the clash happening more than once. That one, right? Also gets us back to G, which is good. Which would be the C section or the A repeat, whatever. I don't know yet. What is the... D, F sharp, C. There it is. Let me get all this in there. See? Little breaks make all the difference. I'm telling you. So we're way up here. old breaks. That sounds good. What's screwing this up? Oh, that one. Whatever. All right. That sounds so weird. I think it's just the melody doesn't match it. Let me get the old piano out. All right, about to just, delete everything and move on. But let's try to salvage. So far, so good. I mean, going to minor doesn't make any sense. Although, there's something to be said about... play. I pulled up some Minish Cap patches. That's actually a track I wrote a couple days ago. In this Zelda style. So it's already kind of refined in my mind. Okay. Anyway, I'm trying to just think if strings would help the situation today. I'm almost out of time, but... Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. All right, cool. I don't hate it. Like, it works. It's functional. I just got to get to the end. That just doesn't work. No, 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 no. It doesn't have to be the best thing I've ever written, but you know, it has to work. It works as a loop. So ugh. That'll work. Cool. So that'll be a loop that, like, the reverb tail would be placed on the beginning. It's one of those things I would just need a whole lot more time to get this melody to really, really shine. But until then, I'm gonna make the end be a longer. But this would be placed on top of the other note, if that makes sense. So basically this right here goes down here. Kind of Frankenstein monstering this. Doesn't have to be the best thing in the world. Again, it has to be functional. Now, if this was really a soundtrack I was working on, yeah, I'd take a little more time. So if anyone wondering how the heck that would work in real life, I would take this harp and slap it on the end here like this. Like that. And I guess I put it there. Like that. So here's how it would actually sound. And now the loop point is here. See? Works. Okay, but here's the thing that's missing dreadfully. We need drumses. Real bad. Real bad. So let's grab some drumses from... Oh my heavens, what's happening? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We need something from probably the GBA era. Let's grab all the drum kits and just see which one sounds best. Whew. We got this, yeah? We got this. La 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 la. Rum, ba, ba, ba. All right. Ooh. Excellent. All right, let's see how that fits. If it fits, will it fit? I don't know. I love it. All right, let's just do it. Why not? There it is. There's my 8-bar loop. Boom, boom. Not what I was expecting for Zelda, but whatever. Doesn't have to be for Zelda. Ultimately, these tracks end up in VGM packs anyway, so it has to function like as its own thing. Yeah, that quickly became Zelda lo-fi, and I love it. I mean, that's kind of what the background, what the synths were doing anyway. Just means we gotta tame down a lot of this. Some of this is way too loud. Like this. It works. It works. I'm gonna try a different drum beat just in case. I can find something that fits even better. That's the one. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Absolutely horrid. Oh my heavens. What else we got? Are these all the same? Like these all. Am I bit? I know why. Because I've been changing the wrong flipping thing the whole time. Sorry. Are these the same? I'm so confused right now. Let's do Kontakt again. Maybe because it's not soloed. I don't know. Solo. You just gotta have fun sometimes. Let's try again. Let's actually go to 3DS. That's probably a good place. Let's see what's hanging out. Okay. It's still here. I've used that before. That too. Okay. It keeps finding me. Okay, we're just destined to not use that. Or to use it, whichever. I like the chill vibes. It is what it is. What the heck? Why is that so crazy? Ooh, that's a good ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like that a lot, actually. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna like be done before I add anything else. All right. Right on time is the correct answer. There you go. I was holding it in the whole time. Oh my god. What else is there to say? That's just it.
1, 2, 3.
And on that note, have a wonderful day, guys. That's all I got today.